can't survive this. This was uploaded an hour ago, so here we go. Shout out to Fantastic Hip Hop. One more time, let's go.
Now, with both Drake and DJ Akademiks, as 2024 is coming to a close and there is no longer any chance of doing something to change what we have all witnessed within the hip-hop world this year, it's safe to say that when it comes to the biggest losers in all of rap music, from artists to media personalities in this year for the ages, there has been no two people who have had a worse year for their careers and whose downfall has really symbolized the way hip-hop is changing than both Drake and Ak. But now, while it seems like with everything we have witnessed, it can't get much worse than what we have seen throughout 2024 for these two, especially after the clown show the two have put on following their loss to Kendrick Lamar, which has made both of them crash out in their own respective ways. But in actuality, with what...
Now, you know, it's funny. I don't see... I don't... Is Akademiks really crashing out? Like Drake is 100% crashing out. We can see that. Akademiks, not really. I do feel like he's getting back to being unbiased, because before a while he was very, very biased. But then it's so evident that Not Like Us is one of his number one songs on Spotify Wrapped Up. So, and he apologized to Jay-Z and that, even though he wants to chat rubbish about Memphis Bleak. But like, you know, and obviously DJ Akademiks needs to respond to Screwface Gene as well. But I don't know, man. You have to think about it in so many aspects. Like, what is DJ Akademiks really having the worst year? I don't think so. I personally do not think so, because everybody still wants to know, not everybody, but most people want to know his takes of it. They want to see him react. They want to see what, like, think about it. When the beef was going on, people wanted to see how DJ Akademiks would react. Like, how would he respond? So, I don't know.
With what's going on with both of them, we have to ask ourselves, just where will these two truly catastrophic downfalls go from here? And after the all-time career lowlights both of these two have put up, what will happen to them as hip-hop enters an entire new chapter? And it seems like even already before 2025 begins,
Okay, yeah, it's the internet. I'm telling you, it's the internet. Now the internet wants to mess up on when I'm trying to react to this. Come on, man. Don't do this. Do not do this. Let's keep it moving. Now, let's go.
Found our answer is based on the way both Drake and Ak are closing out these years and preparing for what's next to come. Somehow things are only going to get a lot worse for them, as what just happened in both of their careers is pointing to something truly...
Alright, I know what to react to next. Don't worry. Hey, now, say now. So what about that big black? Let's go.
terrible. But now, before we go any further into this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton. And so now, when it comes to what's going on with Drake and DJ Akademiks, right now we are seeing their crash outs, which was all caused from Kendrick Lamar's win in the beef, continue. And after humiliating themselves to everyone else in the genre for the most part, Drake and Ak have been humiliating each other's images in some shape or form. And after Ak just absolutely embarrassed Drake when he accidentally showed off his most listened to song of the year and his number one most played track was Not Like Us, after months
in it, like, it just happened to be. Let's go back to that for a second. Hold on.
And comments in the industry about how Drake has been manipulating the most played track was Not Like Us.
Normally, Kendrick Lamar would have sniffed my Spotify Wrapped by his number 2 on mine. The explanation for this is that's what happened when you beef with everyone's favorite rapper. Well, he's not my favorite rapper. So anyway, we got to listen to yours too, because the beef Beef when it's just musical competition helps both artists. But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. How many times have you listened to Kendrick Lamar? That's the question. How many times have you listened to that song from the artist that your favorite artist is getting dissed by? How many times? Do you get it? How many times? Because if you think about it, if you only listen to it once and you only listen to it just what the first time, then fair enough. If it's like the second time to try and break down the lyrics and all that stuff there, then that's different. Yeah. But at the same time, who are you fooling? You have to listen to it like at least over, I don't know, over 100 times at least. No, well, maybe that's an exaggeration, but if you listen to it more than 10 times, then you clearly do like that song. If you listen to a song more than 10 times, I don't care. Do you know what I mean? I don't care. Anyway, let's keep moving.
After months of speculation and comments in the industry about how Drake has been manipulating the biggest voice in hip-hop media and all of his employees to spread narratives that will benefit his image, but never actually does anything to return the favor, which has made Akademiks look more pathetic because he has just lied to every single person, including himself, when having to...
You know, it's funny, like even Screwface Jean was mentioning that. Screwface Jean was literally mentioning that in his diss to Akademiks. Do you know what I mean? And it's made it even worse because now he's going to be on a different platform. I am going to promote that thing. If he's going to do that, let him do what he's going to do in it. Let him get over the beef. Get me?
Having to answer questions like these.
You think Drake shows you love?
Drink AG1. Just one scoop once a day can help keep you. Go to drinkag1.com.
Drake showed me a lot of love.
Which finally now, after all of this chaos and confusion regarding if Drake actually despises DJ Akademiks, Drake is all but directly confirmed.
Okay, you're gonna mention it here. You're gonna mention it here. I was gonna give it free promo. He's mentioning it here. Let's go.
And really joke that people have said to Axe face at this point, and he has clearly been upset about because on some level he thinks it's true. Because right now, for Drake, as he is in this weird era of his career where after releasing more music that was failing no matter what genres or artists he was collabing with, and how he tried to present.
Did that just go to show you? It's like either making music that sounds good sonically for the rest of your fans, or see, here's the thing: Drake is at a level. Let's be real here, yeah, for a moment, yeah. Drake, irrespective of me calling him a culture vulture, whether obviously Kendrick Lamar called him a colonizer, and obviously calling him a scam artist with the hopes of being accepted. Whether, obviously, two things could be true, right? But the reality is, he still was a very popular and still is a very popular artist. Or I say artist because he also is an actor, and I still genuinely believe he is an actor playing a rapper. But he's had many hits that do actually sound sonically good, whether we like to admit it or not, or whether I like to admit it or not, it does sound sonically good. That's just a fact we have to accept, or a fact I have to accept. Now, let's get back to the fact of what he could do is, actually, I'm not giving no tips. No, did he?
His new music, whether that meant through features or through his 100 gigs drops. What Drake is doing after having his worst musical run ever is continuing his absence from the rap game by going on another live stream and doing a massive event. And when Drake could have teamed up with Ak and made a massive moment where the biggest rapper and media personality on the losing side of hip-hop right now officially come together and try to clap back in full force against every single person who has been clowning them, Drake has instead ran away from hip-hop altogether.
No, but even the hit thing
is doing.
I hear that, but had he done that, it would be 10 times worse. Like, 10 times worse. 10 times worse. Because Kendrick has already mentioned that Ake's compromise. That's one thing. And then two, you've got to remember, what does either one of them benefit from the whole situation? It's not going to make Drake appear to be appear like, I don't explain it. Appear like he lost the beef. He lost. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, there's, like, when, as much as I don't even believe that Jay-Z lost that beef with Nas. I'll stand by it, all right? However, the reality is he did. And Nas is a great MC. Don't ever get that twisted. However, what I will say is, you don't see them go, you know what I mean? Like, they ended up working with each other. Even that Fat Joe and 50 Cent. Even 50 Cent and D-Block. Like, you know what I mean? Like, aka the Locks. Like, they ended up working together. Didn't? Do you know what I mean? So it's a thing of, when it's in this moment, it's in this moment. And like Pusha T. See, here's the thing. When he lost to Pusha T, when Drake lost to Pusha T, he had Jay Prince kind of bait him out, if that makes any sense. So now that Jay Prince couldn't bait him out, it's made things a lot worse than it is. But I still think Drake is in a position where, like I said, he can do so much more with his career, if I'm honest. He can stop making music if he wants to, that's fine. Or he can continue making music, that's fine. But if he starts making music, it's not like he can't do anything else in entertainment, because clearly he has his TV show Euphoria. He can always go back into the TV world. You know what I mean? Because eventually, at his age, he's gonna need to fall back onto something else anyway. So if that's one of it. That's one of it. But at the same time, I still believe that he still deserves to be in jail. But that's just me.
An entire event called Drizmas with none other than Aiden Ross. And seemingly with this, from everything we are seeing, it's set up to be
Drizmas? Nah, that doesn't even sound right. And isn't he not from another culture that doesn't support or does not believe in Christ? Now, I'm just asking a genuine question here. Doesn't he not come from a culture, yeah, or like especially from his mother's side, and he's mentioned it before, like he comes from a culture where they don't believe, from what I know of that culture, they do not believe in Christ. So if you do not believe in Christ, why are you doing Drizmas? Do you know what I mean? Like, that doesn't even sound right in the first place. But anyway.
Drake's biggest attempt to win back the public and try to create a moment that will give him some good press and overall just boost his image. Drake chose to escape any corner of the hip-hop world, including the one he still occupies, and is now doubling down on hanging around and creating content with streamers, instead of doing anything to tap in with hip-hop culture. And as this is now his second major event live stream that he is doing in just the span of a month, and with this event being put on with the help of partners and teams that don't just work with Drake, but also DJ Akademiks, at this point, there is no other reason why.
Wait, so he's working.
Why Drake would still.
Okay. Drake. No, sorry. Akademiks needs to wake up and realize that Drake, like, one of these days, one of these days, Akademiks is going to have to say on his stream, Drake is not like us. He's going to have to say it out of his own mouth. And I reckon that's coming soon. I don't know. I just have that feeling. Because it's going to get to a point where you're going to get irritated. Like, how are you overlooking me? Out of everyone else that's been supporting you from the get-go, like, and believing in you. I believed in you. I believed that you would win this beef. I've been telling Ken to drop. Do you know what I mean? And okay, yeah, his reaction may look like he been compromised, but at the same time, hip hop is hip hop, music is music, culture is culture, innit? So it's like you can't knock what's been like what people are genuinely feeling. But anyway, let's keep moving.
Would still be avoiding Ak unless this was a calculated effort to continue to silently humiliate him after Ak has accidentally made Drake look much worse than ever by exposing his hidden support for Kendrick amongst many other embarrassing things.
We're only like 3 minutes and 44 seconds in, and this is buffering like crazy. So we definitely not gonna react to that Beyonce tune, halftime show, unfortunately. I almost forgot it's the vacation that time or holiday time, and most people gonna, do you know what I mean? Anyway,
Things. But even worse than this strange dynamic between Drake and Akademiks, it's also an attempt from Drake to distance himself from hip-hop as a whole and to not have to face the culture as his main audience, which in of itself
is this life in the rainforest away from it all, and while it is so beautiful living so closely to nature, it can be isolating to live so remotely. In the busy
in this time where Drake's legitimacy as a rapper has been questioned, and really with the way the
I hear what he's saying, but I just don't think it's that. I think it's because I just think like there's two things that he could be right, but at the same time I think this is where I think he's wrong. I think Drake is Drake, in it. Like, at the end of the day, he doesn't need to go on certain platforms to basically, I don't know, show he cares or doesn't care about hip hop culture. He doesn't need to. You know what I mean? Even if Academics platform is one of the biggest, like he doesn't need to. But I do feel as though if he really was to remain within the hip hop culture, he's just gonna have to deal with himself. And I'm talking about literally like he's gonna have to pay for his sins, isn't it? Just be real. I'm not even like, hey, listen, the consequences in life, you have to deal with the consequences of the actions you take. So, you know, if it so happens to be what it is that's been said and what I've seen, I'm like, you might as well just, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, man. There's no way out of it. Like I said, it's not about him trying to disconnect with the hip hop culture or hip hop audience. I don't think it's got nothing to do with that. I just think he's trying. I don't know. There's two things. He definitely wants attention, but then there's another thing. I just feel like he's possibly at a midlife crisis. I'm not even joking now. He might be at a midlife crisis and an identity crisis. Or maybe not a midlife crisis, an identity crisis. And like I said, he's in one of the 4 stages of grief as well. So
the entire post-beef era of his career has played out is really starting to put his entire legacy on the line. Drake running away from hip-hop further and further, and avoiding even thinking about his career as an MC is the worst thing he can do right now. And when this stream ends up airing, just wait and see how much backlash he is going to get. Because if the first stream he did a month ago got bad reception when he crashed out on Kendrick Lamar, Metro Boomin, Steve Lacy, and so many others, it's seemingly locked in that with an even bigger audience and with a creator in Aiden Ross, who Drake seems to be actually friends with on some level at least, Drake is going to leave us remembering
both from a different. This is what's so mad and interesting. Both of them are actually from a particular culture, and that culture does not believe in Christ. So if they don't believe in Christ, why are they doing this? But shout out to those who do believe in Christ and want to, celebrate Christ properly. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm gonna say on that. I'm not here to disrespect anyone's beliefs and whatever, because I'm not about that. You believe whatever you want to believe, but it's just the fact of, in my mind, I'm like, if you believe of, you know what I mean? Like, just stay thorough with whatever you believe in, innit? You know what I'm saying? But
Go.
Mo Salah, who's that? Mo Salah finest. Is that Mo Salah Gap Bar? Oh, Gap Bar. I knew that was gonna backfire on me, and I couldn't Gap no.
Go. The pressing is too much. When Leicester City is defending.
Cody Capo. Yeah, it would have been very shocking. Like I said,
You allow him to settle down too much.
oh well, every stream I do and Liverpool are playing, they always win. So if they end up losing this game, like I said, I will be shocked. I'm not even a Liverpool fan. I'm like, anyway.
Because the way they are controlling ball. They have speed.
Him this year while he allows himself to crash out even more than we have ever seen. And now for both Drake and Akademiks, because of the way they aligned up during the beef and decided to spread information together that would benefit their own ideals.
With no response from Kendrick Lamar yet. Yeah, I remember when this was happening, and I was like, watch, when Kendrick drops, he will finish, I'm telling you, Kendrick will finish Drake. I'm telling you, like, he will win this battle. Like, I didn't think it would end up like this, but I had a feeling that I knew Kendrick Lamar would like pop out and show. You know what I mean? Pop out and show ninjas, because he is what the culture is feeling. And it's not even just that. I just feel like they're two different type of artists. Do you get it? Now, if you were gonna say out of J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar, then I would be like, yeah, I do not know. Yeah. That's the one where you be like, I do not know. But some things are just easy to predict the outcome. And to be honest, I still could have been wrong. But Kendrick Lamar is the type of MC that from his generation of MC, it's like there's only a few of them. Like, this guy has won a Pulitzer Prize. Why are you going to go against someone who's won a Pulitzer Prize? Why would you go against someone like that? You might as well be on their side. Because they will out-rhyme you in different levels. Anyway.
And what they wanted to happen, they have really binded their careers together on an invisible string. And so at this point, the consequences of one's action are going to have bigger and bigger ripple effects on the other. And for Akademiks at this point, despite being the biggest single voice in hip-hop media and posing himself as this unbiased independent source, even though we all know he's not, him being this compromise.
He did used to be unbiased. At one point, he did used to be unbiased. So it's kind of interesting how his career has gone this way. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, let's go.
In terms of his loyalty to Drake, and seeing how he has centered his entire brand around supporting the OVO rapper is now pushing him further and further into helping a guy who doesn't even like him. Because since all of Ak's fans are Drake fans by default, because that's the only way anyone could listen to the guy and actually support him.
Pass your driving test the faster way with National Intensive. We focus on intensive driving courses, which can be completed over 1 to 8.
Ak has been put into place where if he does anything,
we're 2024 and edited with 2025, not flipping 1889 or something. I'm saying. Seriously, man.
To work against Drake, he will lose his platform in an instant. And when you really see how, because of what Drake has made Ak lean further and further into by supporting every single thing he does, no matter how ridiculous he looks. Which again,
but yeah, just to extend on further from what I'm hearing with this, it does feel like when it comes down to support, it's like, yeah, you can support someone, but how far is that support going? And I'm guessing most people would think Drake should stretch out his hands and help academics, and academics should stretch out his hand to help Drake. But if he helps Drake, he should get something in return. I think that's how most people are perceiving it. But because he's not getting anything in return, it just seems like a wrong move by both. But there's only so much that academics can do. And now imagine if he was to switch up. Do you know what I mean? And then he misses on his opportunity to actually, link up with Drake. But it's funny because didn't Screwface Gene say in his diss that the closest thing you got to having Drake on your stream is someone that was imitating Drake. That's wild. That's wild.
Again, even if Ak is not himself, the accounts and everything Ak owns is always pushing narratives that are pro-Drake. It's honestly funny because this is the most tactical and strategic move Drake has made all year, as it has forced somebody to be an ally of his no matter what, who does have some sort of power in the culture. And so now no matter where this relationship goes, and now with Drake seemingly pushing his entire career into a place so far away from hip-hop, as he is aligning with people and creators who, beyond whatever else you want to say about them, seemingly represent something that is far removed, and you could even say the antithesis of anything that defines rap music at its core. Altogether, Drake is playing a game where if he keeps going further and further into this community, he is seemingly catering to both with his recent emphasis on content in general, and also just with the type of behavior.
It's low-key, I hate to admit it, it's low-key a smart move. Irrespective if you wanted to stay within the hip-hop culture or not, it's low-key a smart move. Low-key. You know what I'm saying? Low-key. But the reality of life is when you are yourself, things will flourish for you eventually. But when you are not yourself and you're trying to be something you're not, then things, you may flourish for a while, but after a while, that will diminish. You know what I mean? Whereas when you are yourself, some things may seem stagnant, but after a while, that stagnant will end up going back up into the stream of things that are flowing up in the right direction. And it may go down for a little bit, be stagnant for a little bit, then go back up for a little bit. The main thing is just trying to be yourself within all of those moments. You get it? That's the key. In any situation, in any culture you're from, just be yourself. It's not hard. If you feel people are going to dislike you, then that's the whole point. You got to have the feeling of not caring if people like you or not. Don't do things just for people to like you. Do things because that's who you are and what you do. And if they end up liking you, they end up liking you. If they don't, they don't. It is what it is. Can't please everybody. But anyway,
he is showing, which even for his own standards, is only getting more immature and emotional every time he steps outside. With all of this, Drake is really playing a strange game that when it comes to trying to see where he wants to go from here, especially because at the same time as doing this, he has been trying to get one of the biggest record contracts of all time from his label, which means he needs to try and increase the value of his musical worth over everything else. And you see that Drake wants to be the biggest musician on the planet, but he's so...
See, if you want to be the biggest musician on the planet, you have to be yourself. Because if you think about it, the biggest musician on the planet was and still technically is Michael Jackson. He is the biggest and will always be the biggest. And the thing is, it's so interesting because when you think about it, it's like throughout his career, he's been known from childhood. And it's funny because even Drake, known from his childhood, from acting in shows like Degrassi and that. But it's like, and that's the thing. That had he, like, think about it this way, yeah. There are other artists that have started out as an actor and did music and all that stuff there. But have they reached the level that Drake did? It's hard to really say. But you have to think about it. They were themselves. But I don't know. It's a strange one. I don't know. It's a strange one. But it's like Drake is definitely crashing out. That's for certain. Academics, for me, like I said before, I don't think he's crashing out. I just think he's in a position. He's in a situation where he's starting to realize what really is going on and how Drake is actually mistreating him. He's starting to realize. And when you start to realize certain things, you're going to start to move. You want to see him start moving differently. Because remember at that time when he was working with Joe Budden? We might get back to that. We might get to a point where he ends up working with Elliot Wilson and Joe Budden. We may get to that next year. I don't know. I could be completely wrong. And obviously, he still has his case as well, so I do not know what's going on. You know what I mean? So he may be out of here. Who knows? But let's keep it moving. As far as Drake is concerned, yeah, Aubrey's finished. We know the embassy is going to get raided. We know that's going to happen.
Caught up with creating content and being the face of quick moments online that really only make him look worse in the long run. When you really look at it for what it is, it seems like Drake is going to be entering 2025 on an even lower point of rock bottom than it seemed like before. And for Akademiks, his place in all of this is
then he can really say he started from the bottom. No, all jokes aside, let's go.
Really the most interesting and telling in a way, because if Drake is pulling Ak further and further out of hip-hop, well, we all know Ak will be sitting in that same chair no matter what. What is becoming more clear is that in a lot of ways, with Drake giving all these opportunities to interact and get closer with the audience that Ak has been trying to get a hold of to all of these other people, Ak is spiraling out from this and is realizing just how bad of a time this is for the future of his career.
The thing is, yeah, it's like he said, Ak will always be in that chair. I don't think it will always be in that chair, but I get what he means. So it's at the point of it proves my point. It wouldn't hurt his career. That's just my opinion. Like, I'm not a big fan of Akademiks or Wakademiks. I'm not a big fan. I'm just saying from an objective point of view, I just don't think the way Drake is moving, I don't think it's going to affect Akademiks. I just don't think so. If anything, it's going to highlight how Drake has been mistreating him, and he's going to start to move differently, and it's going to be better for his career, but also for hip hop as a whole. Do you get it? Like, it'll be so much better. And it does from time to time feel like it's fun clowning Akademiks for this whole situation, but that's just in the moment thing, isn't it? But like, other than that, the reality is, for pure mental health sake, I feel like he's gonna end up switching. Not switching in an aggressive way or anything like that. I'm talking about switching to a point where he's like, okay, from a business perspective, this is how I gotta move. This is how I gotta make money. Get me? This is what I need for my career. I can't always depend on whether Drake is gonna,
his career. Because between his favorite rapper not liking him and the rapper who has caused all of this to happen for him in the first place, in Kendrick Lamar finding more and more success, Ak has been acting even more wild than usual recently. He is in an attempt to win back Drake and try to earn back any sort of trust in this one-sided friendship. Ak even went as far to crash out on SZA recently with one of the weirdest and angriest 20-minute rants he has had in quite some time.
Let's keep it moving. I'm just trying. It's the constant pause that's really jarring. Anyway, let's keep it moving. We're nearly there.
He was breaking down Kendrick and SZA's new song 30 for 30, where the two were making fun of Drake and possibly Ak as well.
Peggy 18.
Is that what you really want, son?
He said some wild things to try and pick apart her character, and then pretended that he knew about why her and Drake were working so closely together in 2023 during the For All the Dogs era, and now why they are no longer on speaking terms. And so with how emotional and all over the place Ak was here, it's showing that even for his own standards, the pressure of Drake in this moment altogether where hip-hop is shifting is just getting to him. And it's honestly hilarious just to see how wrong the aftermath of this entire beef and era. Era in rap is going for him, but at this point, with both Ak and Drake being in this strange phase where hip-hop is shifting and the genre.
This is so jarring.
Culture that has allowed for them to become who they are in the first place, whether that's for better or for worse, is now challenging everyone who is a part of it to be the most real and authentic version of themselves that they have ever been. Seeing Drake and Ak, who have been the faces of some of the biggest issues in the genre over the last decade, just run away from any responsibility they may have or from a comeback as a whole, is really just showing how much this entire moment in time has put both of them in shambles. But now as we wait to see where all this goes, all we can do is sit and watch where Drake is going to lead him and the guy whose entire career
We nearly there. Let's go.
relies on his every single move. And if Drake seriously makes the statement it seems like he's about to with Aiden Ross, just in terms of shifting his entire image and moving further away from the thing that defined his image in hip-hop in the first place, then times are really about to get even more interesting than before. And so now with all this said, let me know, what do you think about what's going on with Drake and DJ Akademiks, and what do you think about this downfall they're on that seems like it's about to get a lot worse as hip-hop continues to shift? And as we enter a new year in hip-hop, where do you think this play Drake is leading is going to take both of them, and who will it benefit the most? Now, I can't wait to hear what you have to say, and if you made it to this point in the video, be sure to
Where do I think this is going to take their career and where it leaves hip-hop? I mean, look, respectfully, I'm going to leave my comment anyway, but respectfully, I just genuinely feel you're just going to leave hip-hop in a better space. Do you get it? That's all it's going to do. Like, I even said it before when Kendrick Lamar reached Euphoria. I said the shift there's a shift. There's an energy shift. More people are now caring about lyrics again. I'm not saying that there wasn't before, because Kendrick was getting all the support he was actually getting, and it was good to see. But it's even great to see even now further that most people prefer, and I don't even think it's just that as well. I just feel like if you think about the whole situation with if you think about the whole situation in general, irrespective of the beef, I think most people are sick and tired of just the vibes. Even though some people be like, they needed a bop from Kendrick. But it's like, nah, you don't understand. Kendrick Lamar is the type of MC that his lyrics make you actually think to the point where you're like, okay, what this means, but it also means this, but no, it also means this, also means this. Even Kendrick, in the beef with Kendrick Lamar with Drake tried to mock him to say he could do like a double entendre or this type. No, what's it? A quadruple. I can't even said a quadruple entendre or something like that. So he's mocking him, but I mean that's the whole point of being a great MC. You know what I mean? Like, think. It's not, anyway.
Leave a like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton. And while we're talking about subscribing, thank you to everyone who has helped me reach over 80,000 subscribers. It's seriously surreal to think that we have made it this far, and if you're watching this and are not subscribed yet, be sure to do so right now, because with the year hip-hop is about to have in 2025, we are only going to be witnessing more history unfold before our eyes as we know it. And now, if you want to see how well Drake is closing out one of the worst years we have ever seen from a rapper ever, Kendrick Lamar has just solidified his title as the best MC of all time with what he has just done. Check out the suggested video.
Anyway, let's see what the comments are saying real quick. Kendrick going to force Drake into becoming a streamer like Eminem forced MGK into a different genre. That's funny. Leave it to Aubrey to gravitate towards kids. I'm not going to like that comment. I see what they did there. That was rude and disrespectful. I get it. I'm liking it. Drake slowly becoming a streamer. So sad. What's wrong with a streamer? I'm a streamer. As a Kendrick fan, I'm eating good this few months. We sure are. I hope he got a refund from 50 because he's been leading Drake astray and giving him horrible advice from the jump. That's funny. I'm going to put where this leaves hip-hop culture is in a great space. Goal.
Goal number 2. The pressing is too much.
I think from now on, when Liverpool are playing, I am not streaming. I am not going on live because they need if they need to stop winning for now. Every team needs to. Okay, I shouldn't say that because I want my team to continue winning, but they just keep winning. I mean, there's still more minutes in the game, but they just keep winning.
Leicester City allowed them to take over their 18. So what do they
I'm just shocked and dismayed. But then they're playing Leicester City. Not disrespect to Ruud van Nistelrooy. He's still a new coach. So anyway, you never know. Yeah, what's his name could come from behind? No, did he? Leicester could still draw this. You never know. But I don't know. It's just really interesting how this Curtis Jones has scored. And when he scores, Liverpool end up running anyway. I've never seen him score and Liverpool lose. There's a VAR check, but that's going to stand.
It's offside. It's offside. It's not standing. It's off.
Then let me read this comment. Where does this leave hip-hop culture? Where this leaves hip-hop culture is in a great space because this is what was needed, irrespective of the beef. This shift is needed. Realness matters no matter what. All right, let's see what y'all say in the comments. Get me, shout you out, shout you out. All right, see, I might as well just do like a.
Checking is not tight anything. It's offside. Offside.
So let's get to this next thing. What I'm going to react to. The funny thing is, I'm going to see something for a second. I haven't reacted to no thing today. So wait, let's try Beyonce, the Beyonce thing. Innit? Let's try. Let's try.